Hey, bless up, fam. So, as we experiencing more and more natural disasters, more and more people are being affected by these disasters, more and more homeowners as well as renters. Although the majority of us do have home insurance or maybe even rental insurance. But today I want to talk about five things that most people overlook with their insurance policy. So come on, let's have a conversation. I know it may be dry. I'm going to make it as entertaining as possible, but I do want you to be prepared. And I just want to share with you a few tidbits, things that most homeowners overlook, but they should take a deeper look at their insurance policy to make sure you're ready and you're equipped for whatever or if a natural disaster hits. Coverage, limits, and exclusions. Make sure that you know your limits and your exclusions. Let me give you some examples. Did you know that most standard home insurance do not cover flood damage, mold damage, earthquake, or any other additional outside the normal damage? There are riders that you would need to apply to your insurance policy. A rider is something in addition to your standard policy. So make sure that you are prepared. For example, I'll give you an example. Just say that a storm comes to your home and it causes damages, and then there's a flood that also happens. Make sure that you read the fine print because some insurance adjusters, when they come out, they will say some of your damage was due to flooding, not the actual storm. But we all know that the storm caused the flooding. But you have to make sure you know your policy, what it's saying, the specifics of what it's saying. And if there's anything that you're unsure of, if you know you're around a low-lying area, you know you live around some type of water, or whenever it rains just a little bit, you see a lot of puddling, you may want to consider adding flood insurance. I know it may be a little costly, but trust me, long term, it'll be well worth the investment. So make sure you pay attention and even get your agent on the phone or send them an email. Get them to specifically lay down your policy if you're not unsure after you read it. Make sure you get a good, clear understanding. Let's go to number two, replacement cost versus actual cash value. So your value of your home may be worth XYZ, right? Just like a car. You know you have a car. You drive in a car, you bought a brand new car, and then the moment you drive off the lot, it decreases by so many thousands of dollars. So just say I bought a $30,000 car, right? I actually paid $30,000 for that car, right? Drive it down the road, drive it maybe 5 or 6 months. Now, if it gets totaled, my policy may only cover me $20,000, but I might have paid higher price of it by the time the fees and the service and this and that. So if it's total, the replacement cost is different between the actual cash value. The actual cash value of my policy may be only $20,000 and only cover me for that $20,000, but I have to come up with the rest to pay off the car. Then I got to replace my car, right? But then you actually have what you call replacement cost. Now, replacement cost is if that car drives down the road and it becomes this class, they sought out the car, and a lot of other people want to buy this car, and the value maintains the same. I paid $35,000 for this car, and 6 months later, it's still worth $35,000. In order for that insurance to replace it, they're going to pay the whole $35,000. So that's a replacement cost. Replacement cost is different from actual cash value. Make sure you understand that. And let me say this another thing. Insurance adjusters will always have their own opinion. But if you are not satisfied with the ending results, contest it. Just because they say, hey, this is what what we're giving you, does not mean that you have to be agreeable to it. And if you might need to seek some legal counsel, seek some legal counsel because it's worth the actual fight. Trust me, I've seen too many people who actually did not agree to what the insurance companies originally offered them. And they may have went back and forth, might have caused a delay, but they definitely got more than what they would have gotten from the original assessment. Number three, loss of use or additional living expenses. Man, so as you if you are affected by some of these storms or what have you, there's things where you lose, you no longer can use, right? Then there's also some things where um, you're without and you still need those things. It could be toothbrushes. You could have to go out there and buy a pair of clippers, things that you would have had at your home that you no longer have. Those are additional living expenses. Make sure that you read your policy and make sure you understand how much it costs for the replacement cost. A lot of that you'll have to initially come out of pocket, but in order to be reimbursed, you want to keep your receipts. You want to keep everything you're spending, but you got to make sure that your policy is going to actually cover that. Make sure that your policy is going to actually cover that. Do not assume nothing. Get a good understanding of what your policy actually covers. Proof of loss. Number 4, proof of loss requirements. This can get very sticky. One thing that I recommend, use technology. Take this camera, the smartphone, what have you, go around your house. I would recommend clean your house, get it nice and clean, because I'm telling you, these insurance companies will try to devalue your assets. Do not let them do that. So one thing I would do is go around my home, take a video or a picture of everything. Take serial numbers, model numbers, everything. Try to even talk about how old it is or how new it is. Go through your house, throughout your whole exterior of your house. Go into your buildings, your storage buildings, your tools, your accessories outside around the house, your patio, everything. Go through there and have everything so that you can truly give a true assessment of what you had for as replacement cost. Because sometimes if they didn't see it and you can't prove it, it didn't exist. And you don't want to be shorted. You want to be, and the whole purpose of insurance is to bring you back whole again. Not for gain, but to get you restored. But based on your policy, you might have an undervalued policy. So take a look at it, take an account, and then be very meticulous. And then with those videos and with those pictures, upload them to the cloud, a place where you can download them if you do lose your phone or if you do lose whatever device you place those photographs or those videos on. Utilize technology to help you assess some of the value of your property. Number 5, this is what really gets people, deductibles. Know your deductibles. I know you want to get the lowest price for your home insurance. But remember, a lot of home replacement costs is based on a percentage of the value of your home. That can hurt. And especially with home values rising and rising and rising, and replacement costs is rising and rising and rising, right? So you might have bought that home 20 or 30 years ago for only $200,000, right? Only 200,000, yeah, only 200,000, right? But now that home may be worth $500,000. So now, or the replacement cost may be $500,000. Now, if you may have severe damage, tree, God forbid, a tree fall in, you might need a roof replacement. Something catastrophic happened. The total damage might be $300,000, right? You got to come up with a percentage of a deductible. Do you know your percentage of your deductible? It could be 1%, could be 3%, could be 4%, could be 5%. Do the math. $500,000, 3%, 5%, and you already are taxed with being out of your home, with staying in a maybe a hotel or something like that. All this added cost, and now you got to pull into your bank just for them to begin work or begin payment. You got to pay for your deductible. So keep these things in mind, fam. I know it's a lot, but knowledge is the key. We understand this is the process, this is the goal. I want you to be smart about what you're doing. I want you to think about what you're doing. I want you to prepare yourself what you're doing. Knowledge is powerful. By having knowledge, by knowing why things happen, not tucking your head under the sand, as they would say, by truly focusing on knowing what you're going to be entering into and preparing yourself ahead of time, this will leave you more prepared than the average citizen or homeowner in the United States. So I'm hoping these tips were helpful to you. And if they're helpful to you, I wouldn't mind if you would share it out to a friend or maybe to someone else. Leave a comment below your thoughts. And until next time, y'all don't forget, whatever you do, don't forget to keep on growing. Grow. Take care. Eco Neighbor signing out. Till the next time.